Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic episode of the DKM Podcast with your boys, Danny, Kenny, and Marcos. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing cool, man. I'm having fun working on my car and buying new stuff for my car. It's nice.
Yeah, it's always
like stocks right now are crazy.
the stonks.
Stonks. Big stonks.
Especially. Well, you know what, Danny? I know you had something you wanted to talk about, so.
Well, I was just gonna say to Marcos that so you got a new car, so you're working on it. That's always fun when you get
it's the same car. I just like working on it and making it better, even though it's an older car. I just like treating it well, putting some new parts to make it more reliable, things to make it more practical, things to make it more cozy in the cabin. It's just that.
Yeah. Little upgrades, you know what I'm saying? Do you guys think it's more fun to take something older and make it better, or do you prefer to just buying something new every time whenever the time comes?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's Xbox's philosophy with the controller, so.
You mean PlayStation?
No, Xbox.
Because the original Xbox had a white and blue button. No, a white and black.
Black and white buttons.
Yeah, white and black. The PlayStation has had the same controller since the inception. All they had was they added joysticks. The what was it? Yeah, then they learned from PlayStation.
But
I guess
Xbox has had the same controller since freaking 2013. No, earlier, since 2006, pretty much.
Yeah, and the PlayStation
Nintendo
had it too.
And Nintendo just bangs its head on the table and it's just like, all right, I got a new one.
Boys. I mean, I do like the Pro controller.
The N64. We got the GameCube.
We went from adapting for a controller for a three-armed person. We went to the Melee Beast, and then we went to the Wii Remote, and then we went from a fucking gamepad, and then from then we went to Joy-Cons.
Although I did like the gamepad.
Man. I like the Joy-Cons. But I prefer the Pro controller.
But
I like the gamepad, but I ironically didn't like it for Pikmin 3. I found it very uncomfortable for me.
I've never played Pikmin 3 on that. I just like the idea of having weight.
Hey, I could take a shit with this thing.
It's not even about that. It's just having something with weight and just playing the controller with the controller and the screen on it. You don't have to be on it. You could just be comfortably just laying down in your bed, stomach down or on your back. It's great.
Did you ever see people
Marcus, you like to be on your stomach?
Dude, I love it.
Did you guys ever see people used to take their Wii U gamepads in their backpack and they would just plug it up against a wall and then they would just play it on the tablet?
Undress was the epitome of that.
Yeah,
especially in high school. That's all he did was have his makeshift Switch with him.
I swear, I think Nintendo must have seen people like that, and he was like, "Hey guys, I think we're on
to
follow through with this idea."
But I think that's always been the plan.
We pussied out in the last step, but I think we're getting the spark of life here.
I think that's always been the plan.
Because God damn it, we're about to flatline.
Because
we made the Wii U,
dude. Electronics market is so bad right now.
Wasn't that always the plan? Because they were always big on portable, their handheld consoles, and the Wii U was basically just the unwanted stepchild. But it was basically Frankenstein's monster before it really got perfect.
Oh man, the Wii U had way too many problems to even start. I still think a lot of people to this day don't even know that the Wii U exists.
I just think more than anything
it just sounds like a cop noise. What are you talking about?
It's just honestly a big old alpha and beta testing moment until the Switch came out and everyone was like, oh yeah, cool. And I think even then the Switch is still a beta test to actually release the actual format that they want for the Switch, where it's a little bit more stronger, a little bit more reliable, obviously.
Well, the main thing I would argue is that the Switch actually made fucking money. The Wii U did it.
That's true. Even the GameCube didn't make money, but the amount of games that both the GameCube and the Wii came out with, that is just phenomenal.
I'm so happy that we're now officially in that day and age right now that the GameCube is now considered nostalgic. So,
dude, that's just crazy to think though. That console came out 2 years ago, and here we are 10 years later, and thinking it's nostalgic.
Yep, we're finally past the phase of the Super Nintendo 2D nostalgia. Now it's all about that second gen 3D nostalgia.
I like I just like how when they came to gaming companies that they're just learning from their mistakes. However, Xbox is, like we said multiple times in the past, they're just learning by buying the competition.
Bro, that's the best way to do it. You don't have to do any work. You just get the work done by buying it.
I mean, this is.
Have you ever paid a mechanic to do any work on your truck, on your car, on anything like that? Yes. You want to know why? Because you didn't have to do the work. You paid somebody to do it.
No, I knew how to do the work. Concept. It's just I think I'd rather.
You were lazy.
No, I can do it. My problem was, I was at work, and my car's being worked on, and my mechanic is a family friend, so it's a win-win situation. Instead of me wasting a whole weekend doing it. That's really it. It's not because I'm lazy. I had the tools and everything to work on every little problem with my car. I will say though that even though they're buying up the whole market when it comes to video games, I wonder, do you guys have ever wondered that if Bethesda, let's just say they release a new game, and they give you extra goodies if you buy it on the Game Pass, in contrast if you're just playing on PlayStation, like the way how Call of Duty has extra little goodies for the people who own it on PlayStation compared to everything else, would something like that, like when seeing it in Call of Duty, does that bother you? Seeing the small little extra thing that they get?
A little bit, but it usually doesn't. Like, I remember a lot of people got really mad about the whole Spec Ops thing being, like, a PlayStation exclusive for, like, a whole year. And they said, like, well, it's going to be available on other platforms after a year. But, you know, like, a Call of Duty game only comes and goes for, like, a year before the next one comes out. And then most people go back to the last one. I know with, like, Cold War and, like, Modern Warfare is kind of the exception to the rule, because I could safely say that a lot of people go back to Modern Warfare. But at the end of the day, it's all about how do you push a particular version of a game. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm going to say about that is, like, I personally don't care as much as my younger self did. Like, okay, whatever. It's timed content. Like, I'm going to get it anyways. It's just going to be a year later. Who cares? Honestly, sometimes it's only 30 days, and people had a hissy fit about that during the 360 era.
Yeah, that was true. Like,
right.
DLC.
Yeah, but
it's like, oh my god, I have to wait an extra 30. I have to wwait an extra 30 days to give money to a company to make maps.
Look at that. 30 days compared to now what PlayStation has is a whole year of content in advance.
I think my main problem... Like, but here's my main problem between Modern Warfare and Cold War. Modern Warfare had something that continued the lore, that continued the story itself, where everything that happened after
zombies.
Huh?
I said Cold War zombies.
No, I'm talking about Modern Warfare, not Cold War.
I know, but Cold War, that's all they have.
Yeah, so that's something that's small. I don't mind it being an exclusive for PlayStation, but something like actual story that you could experience yourself, everything that happens in Verdansk, where the Warzone map takes place, like the history of it, everything about it, like that is, although I'm sure only a small percentage of people actually cared about the story when it came to Spec Ops, and they just really wanted to play the actual missions and just get like the operator or whatever reward they got from it. But that's the part where I'm like, maybe you shouldn't hold a whole year worth of content for the story because it's on PlayStation. That's the part where I'm like, But like, if Bethesda says like, hey, we come up with a new Fallout, but like you can only like access this optional quest line on Xbox, and it turns out the quest is actually pretty freaking cool, then that would be a kick in the nuts, honestly.
This kind of reminds me of when Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes came out. There was like exclusive content missions per version, and you had to wait like way later before it started getting released on all the other platforms, including the PC version. Like you could play as Raiden.
I don't know,
in that
dude.
game.
Like for me, it's not that big of a selling point like it used to be. Like I feel the way that Game Pass has done things, it's just incentivized people to not even care about it. Just wait until it comes out.
Yeah, I guess. You get more bang for your buck. But I think more than anything, I'm sure this console generation, we're going to see that Xbox is going to take a huge W because of... I can only assume. I'm trying to be optimistic here, mainly because of the amount of gaming companies they have in them. And hopefully they get good games underneath them. Hopefully they don't turn into an EA 2.0 where they screw over a bunch, and I mean a bunch of people.
Wasn't there a game that Sony is getting a timed exclusive and then later gets released on other platforms? I think it's Deathloop, right?
Yeah, we were talking about it in one episode, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I think we talked about that.
Where the whole map changes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a different game.
We're talking about
Deathloop
Returnal.
is Returnal.
Yeah.
No, it is a timed exclusive for PlayStation 5
for a whole year,
and then PC,
same with
and then it will get released.
Ghostwire.
Ghostwire.
Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay, all right, then yeah. So, do you think like Microsoft is going to do the same thing too with the Bethesda titles?
There's a possibility
I
that
wonder
they're
about
saying that they're going to keep some of the games like platform exclusive, so
Yeah,
they'll just keep it on the Xbox platform.
I don't think Bethesda's going to agree, or most companies are going to agree with, hey, yeah, I get that you're like basically our boss, but I'm pretty sure somewhere in their contracts that obviously it's not out to the public that they're going to be just for Xbox, just for PC, just for Game Pass. I don't think that's good for the company's bottom dollar, specifically Bethesda.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to work. Honestly,
I think Microsoft has stated that as far as like exclusivity goes, it's all up on them.
Yeah, they said it's a case by case basis. Like it's not
Right.
official, but it's not out of the out the window either.
right.
But this is all
Well, and
like in my opinion, I think Xbox needs something strong like Bethesda games to be somewhat of an exclusive.
well,
Do I think it's customer friendly? Do I think that it's what's consumer friendly? Personally, at the end of the day, they're a company. They're out to make money. So
yeah,
what they're trying to push for right now is their Game Pass. And if they can have an exclusive like a Bethesda game that's going to get people to buy Game Pass, they're going to have it.
I mean, what other than Doom, what IP is something that's recently that Bethesda's been doing really good with?
Skyrim.
All right.
Zelda
Let me
Scrolls
ask again. What good IP is Bethesda pushing out that isn't Doom?
Elder Scrolls
hey guys,
Online.
hey Reddit, check out this guy is a badass. He thinks Skyrim is not the
No,
shit.
because right now Skyrim is a thing of the past. The one that's up ahead is
Oh, yeah,
Elder
but
Scrolls.
that doesn't mean they
6
won't
is
stop
gonna be coming out,
releasing
but,
it.
But Elder Scrolls Online wasn't even made by Bethesda Studio. It was made by ZeniMax Online. It was made by
I would say
published
the
it.
fall.
Studio.
I would say the Fallout games, but 76 kind of tainted the franchise a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was reading up, it's like, have they said that they're making any plans of making another Fallout game?
they're
What about
focusing-
Dishonored 2? I mean, Dishonored, the series is
Right, but right
are
now,
they gonna make
it
right
good?
now? Because they did the Death of the Outsider, and I think that's sort of finished off the Dishonored franchise.
Right, unless they're gonna make spin-offs and things like that.
Right, that take in place in the past, because obviously, as everyone knows,
There's
spoilers here. In Dishonored, you get these mystical powers to become supernatural in your own right, where you can stop time,
Right.
you can teleport, you can do all that stuff, because an entity that exists in a different dimension, called the Outsider, gives you powers. In the last portion of the DLC, or it's not even really DLC, it's like a half game, but let's call it DLC. You kill the Outsider, so I wonder how it's going to be Dishonored without any powers, which honestly in Dishonored 2 you can do that, play the game without any powers, which is
here's
just as
another game that I could pretty much say came out recently. I mean, they have so many different games. Period. That
yeah,
are
I know,
just,
but like Wolfenstein
really
didn't do
good.
well right now. Like,
Young Blood was pretty.
yeah, it
pretty
was.
bad.
Yeah,
But
really.
Cyberpilot was mixed. Deathloop seems like it's getting a lot of traction, and I mean, Ghostwire Tokyo looks freaking phenomenal. So
I think
I still, but I mean, like, if we're just taking a cursory glance here, I think that the IPs that Bethesda has under their belt is pretty crazy. Like,
Yeah, they have some
I was
big
reading, I was
ones.
watching this video about the Fallout iceberg, and one of the entries was that like Bethesda stole Fallout from Interplay, and it's like, well, technically he didn't steal it. They just bought it for $5 million from a company that was sinking really, really badly, and they bought it for like $5 million. I think right now it's like worth like $20 or $15 million. So you can make the argument like, well, they stole it. It was like, no, they just got it at a really good fucking price.
I think
Well, I also feel like back to the Microsoft thing. Why would Microsoft spend $7.5 billion for them to not use any of these IPs for leverage?
To flex.
For leverage.
I mean, to be fair though, we've seen this time and time happen again with companies. They'll buy studios and things like that, Rare, and not do anything good with them.
I get it, but Rare, I think, is working on Perfect Dark right now, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah,
I don't know. They're probably gonna
new Perfect Dark. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they made a game where they just make Conquer to a whore, but I mean, like, that's just...
Perfect Dark was a decent game. I liked it.
Perfect Dark was really good.
I will say, though, Bethesda being a publisher as well, I mean, wasn't there talks about an Indiana Jones game being released by them? Or
I thought it was
published?
I always get confused if it was between them or Ubisoft.
I think a company that's working on it, it's not Bethesda, like, actually working on it. I think it's, like... Machine Games or something.
They're publishing it.
Machine Games or something, and then it's being published by Bethesda. Indiana Jones game, and I think they're gonna make another Wolfenstein game. I don't know, but I do know that Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 is something that's gonna be like released whenever the hell. But if it's gonna be using the same old school Fallout 3 Oblivion engine, then I honestly am not gonna buy these games, because the same reason why 76 did bad is the same reason.
No, well, Xbox said that they were going to be making a new engine for Bethesda, and like in general, like they need a new one. They haven't worked on a new engine since what, Morrowind?
No, I think it was whichever one came first, Oblivion or Fallout 3, one of the two, or maybe
Oblivion.
I think it was.
I think it might have been a Morrowind as well.
It was Oblivion.
I think it might be more. Yeah, I think the Oblivion engine.
Oblivion engine is from Morrowind. Like, that's the original.
No, I think it was upgraded from Morrowind to Oblivion, but I think the main like staple foundation when it comes to their engine works on Oblivion. The Oblivion. I could be wrong, but the reason why you saw a whole bunch of issues in game, I'm not talking about how much the company screwed up. I'm talking about the in-game issues that everyone took advantage of, like when someone can just look at you and take all the items off of you to where you're naked. That was a Bethesda issue.
It's literally
because of the engine. Because people know this engine. People have been hacking the engine so well to the point where they make mods that are way more impressive because they basically have everything but the source code when it comes to the engine.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, and if even then, they could probably even manufacture the source code to a surprisingly scary accuracy. But yeah, new engine, please.
Rare isn't going to be working on the remake. It's going to be the Initiative. It's a new Xbox studio.
Bend Studios.
Dude, talking about Bend Studios. Oh my gosh, like Sony, what the hell are you guys doing over there?
Well, okay, Kenny, what the Bend Studios did now?
So they're saying now that Days Gone 2 might actually happen, and then like now they're revoking the PS3 and the PS Vita and the PSP stores.
Okay,
thing.
Well, let me first follow up with that thing about that Days Gone 2 sequel. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the tweet that I sent you about one. I think it was the games director or something saying if you want a sequel to a game, you should buy it in full fucking price. Okay. First of all, fuck you. No, that's not good. You can't just tell people or force someone to do it. I've always hated when companies do that. It's like when Square Enix, like, it's kind of crazy how much Square Enix is now really supporting the World's Ends With You franchise, because I always felt that it was like a one and done niche. Okay, it was kind of big on the DS. Now we're gonna port it on mobile devices because it's the only other system that has a touchscreen on it. When they re-released The World Ends With You on for $60 on the Switch, a lot of people were very hesitant because the DS copy was still readily available. Mm-hmm. The added content wasn't like that drastic, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty like Marcos. Kenny, you play Kingdom Hearts 2, right?
Not really. I didn't play any of the Kingdom Hearts.
I played it.
Okay, well, Marcos could probably vouch for me on this. Have you ever played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Marcos?
A bit. I played the original more, but
okay. Well, as someone who played the final mix to an English translation on an emulator, to say that Kingdom Hearts 2 base versus Kingdom Hearts 2 final mix is practically a completely different game at that point. The amount of content added is ridiculous. It's that pretty impressive for a PS2 game. That
actually is true.
So when The World Ends With You Final Mix came out, a lot of people were like, this is cool and all, but the controls were, they had to do what they had to do because this was a game built with a touchscreen in mind. You had to use like the Switch the Joy-Con as like IR pointers. Ooh. So I could get accustomed to the controls. It took a while. Is it as comfortable as playing the original on the DS? Fuck no, but I still had a phenomenal time playing it on the Switch. But they kind of like strong-armed their fan base by saying like, hey guys, if you want us to acknowledge this franchise and make more games of it, you need to buy this version. Yeah. But people are hesitant because it's like, well, I like the game already, but now you're kind of making me feel like an asshole because I have to buy the game, even if I when people come up to me and be like, hey, I want to give The World's Ends With You a try, but I have a DS. Which version should I get?
That Days Gone, the director, was the one that said to buy the game?
He said buy it at full fucking price.
Well,
essentially.
I mean, right now it's on PlayStation Plus, but I haven't heard that. What I heard was that that Days Gone right now has a changeme.org petition that has like 43,000 signatures and climbing. And in fact, the director was saying, if you guys want to see this game, go to the changeme.org and sign that petition, hit 25,000, and they've surpassed it plus some.
Yeah, but he's talking about specifically about the tweet that he linked us about him. Yeah, literally just crying about if you want a sequel, you should want more. Yeah. It's the same thing with the Twitch streamers who say, hey, if there was that one infamous moment where some girl said, if you have $5 to give me a month, you should, and if you don't, you should be watching my streams, you should be getting money so you can come back here and give me that money. And it's sort of like that, and I'm like, that's kind of cringe, but you girl.
It's basically saying that like if Nintendo, it's kind of funny because like people there was around that time there was a thing like a director said that the reason why they haven't made an F-Zero game is because they feel like they need to really innovate it, and I'm just like, guys, like, come on, we're Nintendo. We don't need to reinvent the wheel on every fucking game you ever made. I don't think the jump between Mario Kart Wii to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is, that drastic. You know what I'm saying?
But if you look at Nintendo, though, they're going to make a new game. Like, let's look at Mario Kart, right? Between Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Right, 3 Splatoon games have been released, back to back, right? And Mario Kart 8 only got a deluxe version. So, when will Mario Kart get a new game? Is it because Mario Kart 8 isn't doing so well, their online numbers are going down, or do they have it ready to be worked on for a new project? Maybe when the new Switch comes out, they're gonna not release Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They're gonna make this new Mario Kart because they have it ready in the works. Stuff like that, where the series is successful, but they're not gonna give you the game because money, right? That's also the other part of this issue, the other side of this coin. Because look at GTA 5. They're not gonna make a new GTA game because GTA 5 Online is making them a lot of money. So
they're gonna have to at some point. There's only so much you can add to a game before it's like, okay, this thing is just too much.
But it's the same thing with mobile games where you have like 2% of your player base being whales, which basically they just give you a whole bunch of money into your game because why not? And that really sustains you for a long time. All you gotta do is just keep releasing new things that literally just like, hey, you can make more combos with this, or hey, you can get stronger pixels in their game so you can be better.
You can pull a rare PNG file,
basically, and then you get this windscreen that's basically just a JPEG, and here you go. Yeah, and
it feels that dopamine.
Yeah, so like these whales basically keep the game afloat, and if it weren't for them, like they will find different ways to just like, hey, let's do this. I think with that director for Days Gone, I think just in the spur of the moment, something must have happened. Something must have broken in him when he said, "You should just buy the game at full price, and then you get a sequel." Something I want to know what actually happened. Did was someone higher up says, "Nah, screw you and your sequel. Kill you. Just go and not alive because you're a waste of time and money." Something I don't know. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt.
I could figure my thing where I could be like, okay, I could justify it is, let's say you're a fan of a particular game and you were a fan of it since it came out, but not everyone played it or everyone buy it, and then later, after a couple years later, people discovered the game that you liked, and then later now people are like, man, I really want a sequel. This game is really fucking dope, and then you as a fan be like, well, if you guys bought it when it was still new, we would have had a sequel, but that's not. But there is always a second wind. It could always happen that a game that didn't get popular when it first came out could be popular years later. I mean, look at Among Us. Like, that was a game that came out in 2016,
right?
And then it popped off years later.
I was just thinking about that because they were working on Among Us too, but because it blew up, they were going to give more support to Among Us, which is nice, I guess. Honestly, I think it's better if they just work on the second one and make the game a little bit more replayable, because unless you have a love for this niche kind of concept where it's detective / completing tasks / or being the killer, which a lot of people just want to be the imposter, and if they're not the imposter, they just leave the game, which I get it. The game is a lot more fun as the imposter because you're trying to be all sneaky, but they saw the huge influx of people coming in, so obviously they were just going to support the game, but there's only so much you can do.
If I could give a good example, I think everybody could agree that nothing irks us more is like, I got really mad when the team that does the Mario and Luigi RPG games, the studio shut down because the last game they made was a remake of the DS game.
Yeah.
For the 3DS, when the Switch was hot and primed and ready for a Mario RPG. Like, why the fuck did Nintendo make that decision? Like, it bombed. Like, it bombed even in Japan. Yeah. And Japan loves their RPGs. Like, that's ridiculous to tell me. And that's where it gets kind of frustrating, because it's like, we want to support the franchise, but you're making this product not worth in getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, Samus Returns, for example. People wanted a new Metroid game forever, but were people really that interested on a game for the 3DS on the same platform that had that very controversial Federation Force game? Not really. No. A lot of people were kind of like, you know what, I would like to support the franchise, but not on this.
Honestly, and that's just sad, the Mario and Luigi RPG games were so fun, dude. They were so creative. They're so innovative. Especially
Bowser's Inside Story. I was excited. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, a remake of that one? Absolutely. I would love to play it on the Switch. What's that? It's on the 3DS? Well, guess I won't play it. Oh, the studio shut down? Huh. Wonder what happened. Ooh, low sales numbers. Wonder why.
Right. And I think I think more than anything, it's just Nintendo just wanting to just make a re-release just to get money. And they bombed hard.
Yeah, really. That's usually the way it happens.
That's where I get my take with that whole thing.
Once companies see the money and that's all they see, and they stop caring about their fan base, it's all downhill from there.
Well, like I said in the past few episodes, it's honestly just capital. Like, it's honestly, if it's not worth their time and they won't see a return, then what's the point?
Yeah, and the companies are not like fans. They're not like doing passion projects. They're not gonna like do something for the fans. Like, everything needs to have a return.
The developers,
every product.
The developers, yes.
I mean, if you look at let's look at the Pokemon franchise and where it was and where it's come to now. And this is just more like somewhat of an analogy to what we're talking about, just in general. You know, a visual representation. Look at from Gen 1 to Gen 2, how much content there was going to be in Gen 2 that they cut out of the game, because not only did they feel that was the end, but it was also a passion project, as well as, you know, when they made not Ruby and Sapphire or Emerald, but when they made Leaf Green and Fire Red, another passion project.
I'll give you
revisiting the past games and making them the way that they originally intentionally made them or wanted to make them.
I'll give you a perfect counter to your argument, and it sucks it has to be this way, but it is what it is. At the very beginning, I think it's mostly anything the devs is who put the love and support into the game, which is why Halo 3 really blew up, because the love the community have for the game itself, the devs, how much they put back into the community itself. Halo 3 was one of the very few games where you can see how it shaped the culture of gaming, how it shaped the culture of the industry itself, because you could see what really happens when not only a successful IP is backed up by the community, but it's mainly backed up by Microsoft. It was their cash cow. Pokemon is honestly no exception to this rule. But here's the main counter. Although Pokemon has been doing great, the devs love working on this game. They're showing much love. Look at Pokemon Sword and Shield. How a lot of people are loving the games that are coming out, but then Sword and Shield, they say, hey, we're not going to give you the complete, full national Pokédex. Now, is this a game developer issue where they don't want to put all the Pokemon in there? I don't think so. I think more than anything, someone in maybe higher up in the brass said, we're not going to do this. And I'm pretty sure the devs, I'm just giving the benefit of the doubts, wanted to put all Pokemon in there, but the problem is that they were going to re-release it in DLC, where you can get more Pokemon later down the line in your Pokédex, because it is what it is. But that Sword and Shield issue is one of my few counterpoints to that. But yeah, obviously with Leaf Green and Fire Red, they were taking a risk on making a remake, and who would have thought it made. Not only was it working on Gen 3 engine, which was an amazing engine for Pokemon, one of the best engines, actually. There goes my nostalgia speaking, right? It did super well. So
and it also proved the fact that it proved the theory that's hey guys, we could just re-release Gen 1 3 fucking times and people will still buy it.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, that was after they re-released it the third time. I think they're starting to realize people will just buy whatever we put out. I think that's why they released Sword and Shield in the state that it was in.
Right, and I think to be honest, Sword and Shield is just much like how we were talking about in the beginning of this episode, where the Wii U was a little experimentation phase. I feel like Sword and Shield is that, because it's their attempt on a truly open world Pokemon game, which obviously Sword and Shield didn't have a fully open world feel to it, but apparently Arceus Origins is.
Yeah, that was
so.
If Sword and Shield was the blueprint, and Arceus, in my opinion, is what they probably wanted to really wanted to make, but they needed to release a mainline Pokemon game for this generation. So they made that first, and they're okay, this is what people liked, and this is what we wanted to do.
Right.
So now we have Pokemon Legends for that.
Right, and I think...
And you guys brought up, Halo 3, and I think that the best way to describe it is that you could tell that this was a game that was made with the intention of finishing the fight and, ending the franchise and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. But the disheartening part, I think you guys would probably agree with me, as someone who doesn't play the Halo games, would you agree that the games after ODST were more or less about, this wasn't a game made by a bunch of passionate developers that love the lore, the franchise, everything. This was because Microsoft knocked on their door and said, hey, we need a Halo game because this is a guaranteed IP and we guaranteed returns on this one.
I think maybe it's a sort of half and half, because the Master Chief story ends with 3 back then. Obviously you have 4 and 5, Halo 4 and 5, but more than anything, when they came to Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach, I think more than anything, it was already in the novels. It was already in the lore itself. They were just world building at that point. And honestly, I liked it. I liked it a lot, how these 2 new additions to the Halo series, video game series, they really, really made the game feel a lot more human, even in Halo Reach, because in Halos 1, 2, and 3, you have this badass super soldier who gets things done, and he got it done. And then you have all these plot twists here and there. You get to fight the Flood, you get to fight the elites, the brutes.
But my
story was phenomenal.
Is that
when it came, yeah.
My question is do you still feel okay? When fans will say the older games have felt like they were more passionately made rather than just being made manufacturally. That's what I'm talking about.
And I don't think
Call of Duty.
Yeah. I don't think ODST and Reach sort of feel that way, but Halo 4 and 5 perhaps.
I'm not. I was talking about 4 and 5.
Yeah,
Four
yeah.
and 5,
I
four
meant
and 5 feel more.
I just keep forgetting that Reach and OD. I'm trying to remember which is the last Bungie made Halo game. It was Reach, right?
Yes, Reach was the last game that came out on. It came out on 360, but it was also the last Bungie game that came out. Period.
Yeah.
Because Halo 4 and 5, I felt was just more disconnected from the fan base. Like, nobody was asking for the changes that they put into the games.
Right, and that's what I was asking, because it's like when I talk to people about like Halo games, for example, or Gears of War, there's always been that like very hard cutoff point where the game series was going to end here, but because the franchise and the IP is worth a lot of money, they're going to keep making games even if the original developers are no longer backing it. Like, that's what I'm talking about. You know, that's the scary thing about like when your IP is owned by a bigger company that isn't yourself. Look at Destiny, for example.
I think one game that really exemplifies your example too is Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, great games. Kingdom Hearts 3, I think because they were being pushed more by Disney. This is my personal opinion. I can't prove this. But because they're trying to protect their own IPs when it comes to movies, they didn't want a Kingdom Hearts game where it portrayed some other characters to be bad guys. And thus, the game felt lackluster in a lot of the worlds because Disney had a group of teams working with Square Enix that says, hey, here is the Frozen team, here is the Tangled team, here is the Toy Story team, and different teams. And I think in order to like really, really make a casual experience for those who really, really love the movies, they didn't want to turn certain main characters of certain franchises to be bad people, mainly Tangled and Frozen. So the game in Kingdom Hearts 3 honestly didn't feel all that enticing until the very, very last portion where the actual like Kingdom Hearts lore comes through, where it's like, Sora's doing this is doing that, all that stuff, not what's happening in the world. Like even Pirates of the Caribbean or Caribbean, that world felt really but why was the team working on that world so blah? So it didn't feel much like a game made of love.
I think
it was a cash grab.
I think another thing about like, you know what's kind of crazy to me is that like you think a game, like I think that what also happens that Disney would, like when Square Enix would approach Disney, they'll be like, hey, we want to make, you know, a game about like with Disney characters. I think that Disney has to tell them, okay, you can only use XYZ characters, because you know what always bothered the shit out of me since the first Kingdom Hearts game, or maybe Kingdom Hearts 2, but mainly Kingdom Hearts 3. This is the thought that came in my mind because I thought it was a reference. Literally, why isn't there a treasure planet in this fucking game? You literally fly around in space. You really couldn't pull a treasure planet?
I think okay.
But the reason why, but here's the thing, you know why I think they didn't do it? Because that movie bombed.
Oh, right. So I think more than anything, and here's how I would look at it. You have a Kingdom Hearts game. You have this new IP. The first Kingdom Hearts. Let's just go off with the Kingdom Hearts.
Which in 2002.
Right. How am I going to advertise this game being not only a Final Fantasy series, but also a Disney series where you get to visit yourself and interact with the actual lore you saw in the movies? You get to interact with the story that happened with the movies, which is quite nice. You're going to use the big box titles, right? The ones that really, really, really people enjoyed. The first game, I can understand. The second one, maybe you can experiment. Obviously, the director of the game said he wanted to have Toy Story in there because he loved Toy Story, but that couldn't be possible. And it is what it is. Now, I think more than anything, not only are these movies old, relatively speaking, but
and they're classics.
But I think if you were to release them now, no one's gonna be. They're just gonna look at Treasure Planet now and be like, what is this movie? Like, it looks nice. It seems really, really nice. But like, why is it in this game? Why is this small little thing here? How are you drawing?
It bombed.
Right. How are you drawing in the audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's just to me like my introduction to Kingdom Hearts was that I didn't know anything about Final Fantasy, but I love Disney movies, and I didn't even give a shit about the Final Fantasy characters. But I could be upfront. Like, I thought Cloud looked kind of neat, and to me, like, my headcanon is that's how Cloud always looked like. Kingdom Hearts 1 Cloud is how I always picture him. But like Kingdom Hearts was just a weird fucking. I mean, the inception of it is just really weird. It literally was a Square Enix representative and a Disney representative met in an elevator and said, "Hey, we should make a game together." All right, and they followed through. Like literally, that's it. I don't know what to tell anybody. And believe it or not, even the first Kingdom Hearts game was even met with a little bit of controversy. Like, wait, so Cloud is going to be fighting with Mickey Mouse? Like, what the fuck is going on?
That's cool, dude.
But it worked out in the end. Like, I didn't give a fuck about it. I thought, hey, this game looks kind of neat. The music's kind of dope. The combat's pretty sweet.
You saying Mickey Mouse? You saying Mickey Mouse just makes me think of all the Cubans that say Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah, that's some Mickey Mouse shit, guys.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's saying too, which I never really understood. Like, I guess it's an old saying.
They fucking Mickey Moused.
It's just like it's meant for kids, and that's why it's easy for an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
okay. Or I always interpret it as just like they're fucking with you, or they're like they pulled the fast one over you. But I wouldn't associate that with Mickey Mouse. I would associate that with Bugs Bunny. Yeah, honestly. I always assumed that with any fucking Looney Tunes character before a Disney character.
Yeah, that's definitely different. But even then, like, I don't know. That's such a weird saying. Like, the saying is like you're out on left field, meaning that you're lost. But when you think about it critically, most baseball players are right-handed, and statistically speaking, they're going to hit a ball on the left side of the field because of how they hit the ball. So wouldn't you want to be on the left side of the field? Which is why, like, these sayings I don't get, because it's with the it's with the era. You're out on left field. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't quite understand it. I spoke to a teacher of mine who's a New Yorker, who loves baseball. Don't ever talk to him about the Mets, because he's gonna fight you one-on-one right there on the spot, frame one. You never talk about the Mets, how great they are. Don't even do it. It's only the Yankees, nothing but the Yankees. And he kept saying out on left field, and I told him, and I sat down and was like, hey, what is this saying? Wouldn't you want to be on left field? And he thought it was kind of funny. He never thought of it that way.
You just don't question it. You just always say it, and you just pass
basically.
It on. But Kenny, you said that. So Kenny also brought up something about that. Kind of, I'm very passionate about. As of recording this, April 19th, Sony has decided to retract their decision on no longer allowing people to buy, essentially keeping the PlayStation Store up available on the PS3 and the
PS Vita and the PSP.
Yeah, hit us with the
PSP is still going to go. It's still going to go, but the Vita and the PS3 servers are still going to stay up.
Yeah, so what was the issue with that, Kenny?
Which isn't the first time. They were originally going to do that with, like, I think Demon Souls and Gravity Rush.
The issue with it originally, consoles has every PC has a CMOS battery just to keep time. Well, on the consoles, for PlayStation consoles in particular, once the battery dies, you can't play online games, period. Like, you can't play an online game that you have downloaded, or not even just an online game, just downloaded games on your consoles.
Are we talking about the same battery like in your Game Boy copy of Pokemon Emerald, where it says the in-game battery is dead, so you can't do clock-based events?
It's similar. It does the exact same thing, but that CMOS battery keeps the time track. It tracks the time on the console after it's turned off. So it's kind of weird though, because time clock. So the moment you turn it on and you connect it to the internet, once it connects to the internet and it knows exactly your exact geolocation, it will automatically keep that time indefinitely. The moment that battery dies and it resets the time, if you can't connect to PlayStation Plus, it will break your console. Unless you're using disc-based. But PS4, you can't play disc-based or digital games if it does.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's a major flaw.
So I keep hearing about this. Everyone keeps tweeting out about, like, every system has an expected like shut-off date, like, not just
except for the Xbox.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I remember hearing about it for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3, where they said that, like, after a certain point, the system essentially dies. So you can't play any games, essentially, because
on the PS3 you can play physical games, you can't play digital games with the CMOS battery.
Even if it's downloaded to the hard drive?
Even if it's downloaded to the hard drive.
That's so weird.
What if you jailbreak it?
Or what DRM feature.
Oh, okay, but that's only through legal channels. But what if it was completely jailbroken and you just managed to play games off of a hard drive?
There's a possibility that it'll work. I mean, you'd have to jailbreak the console, though, and not everybody's willing or wanting to do that.
I mean, like, yeah, understandably so. I'm more, I understand that, but I think that, like, if I could at least jailbreak it and do whatever the fuck, because no one wants to buy a product and say, hey, just to let you know, after a couple years, that thing's gonna be a fucking paperweight.
But that's the thing. That's planned obsolescence.
Shining as paperweight.
And like PlayStation did that with the PS3, the PS4, and now the PS5. People found out
I
that
could buy a
there's
PlayStation 1 at the store, and
yes,
a
PS1 and a PS2 are perfectly okay because they are offline.
A Super
consoles.
Nintendo and N64 can do that just fine.
But Xbox,
like,
Xbox One consoles and the Xbox Series consoles, they don't have a CMOS battery, but they do have an online DRM. The moment it turns on, it'll check the network, make sure that it connects to the network. But those consoles can indefinitely go as long as their hardware holds up.
I remember hearing something about, like, the original Xbox has, like, an internal flaw that could really fuck up your system. I forgot what it was exactly.
The hard drive will die.
No.
It's a hard drive?
I think it was a hard drive.
I heard someone says, like, replace something on your Xbox, like, if you buy one used, because the
disk tray. The disk tray. The disk tray would get stuck.
Disk tray?
Yeah, they would get stuck, and sometimes they won't open.
It's the disk tray.
And capacitors. The capacitors on those Xboxes.
The capacitors, there you go. That's those
go bad, too. I forgot exactly which capacitor. I think it's a time capacitor is the one that goes bad on it. I actually
remove the original clock capacitors. Yeah, here's the Reddit thread. Reminder: if you own an original Xbox, remove the clock capacitor before it destroys your motherboard. There we go.
I have an original Xbox sitting next to me.
Yeah, well, you better do that. Oh, by the way, let me go ahead and give a friendly reminder to my Sega Saturn fans, because I read the statistics. I know you're out there. I know I'm here with you. Remember to put your CMOS battery if you want to play Virtual Highlight, because you don't want to lose all your progress. So,
is that really a thing?
Just your Virtual Highlight, yes.
Okay. That's funny.
Yeah, the Angry Video Game Nerd did a video about it, and he had to talk about I need to go to the store and buy a fucking battery.
So speaking about video games, apparently PlayStation is saying they're gonna have another Play at Home update to share soon. So
we've been talking about video games all day.
Well, you know what? We're going to talk about it more. So,
yay!
As of right now, we got Horizon Zero Dawn today. I guess they're announcing another big game that's going to be free for everybody to download, which is nice. I like that PlayStation's doing that right now, even though they're getting so much bad press. They're still giving away free stuff.
I mean, I'm looking forward to getting around to playing that Ratchet and Clank remake, and the last episode I talked about.
Yeah.
That I still haven't played it, so I need to get around to playing that.
So, if you guys have been paying attention to stock market or even just Dogecoin in general, you'll notice that it's gone up to 40 cents. Dogecoin is on the road to $1.
I'm going to be funding my child's college fund with that.
I'm already up to $35.
Dude, holy shit.
Pay off your child's college fund in 30 years, dude, because Dogecoin's at $1 million.
Oh, man. But it's kind of crazy. I remember when Dogecoin was less than a cent. It was 0.002.
It was never meant to be taken seriously. It was a
yes, it was a meme coin, but even then still it's still purchasable on Robinhood and all these other casual stock markets.
Yeah, because why not?
Well, there's if you look at Robinhood, there's some places that they won't have availability that you can't buy off of.
Yeah, I was about to say, are they still doing the locked thing about the GameStop?
Oh no, they stopped that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Did the market even out? Did they
even out?
Or,
no,
I mean,
GameStop's
still going up.
I mean, can you still buy stock? Because remember, they straight up didn't let people.
Well, okay. I think one great saying that I've been living my life to is don't accrue to
GameStop stock is $164 at the moment.
It didn't end up bombing. It's still going on. But never point to malice, that which can be explained by ignorance. and the like how people were getting mad at what was it? Was it Robinhood that they
Yeah, it was
weren't selling?
Robinhood.
Yeah, they were thinking it's like, oh, it's people were talking about that, oh, Robinhood's doing all this because they don't want this happening or that happening with the GameStop market because of the shorts or whatever. And I gave into that hate hype, but it actually was a simple solution about what was it? People going crazy for GameStop, something along the lines of like they were seeing a lot more increased traffic, and in order for it not to affect all their other stocks, they had to pause on GameStop on their app, and people were going crazy saying you're just assuming the worst. And I'm just like,
Yeah, because it said like, oh, you're taking advantage, you're gaming the system, we're fighting the big wigs, power to the
which
people,
technically
stuff
was
like that.
true, but at the same time, just because
Yeah.
Robinhood suspended selling and you buying and selling your what do you call it, your stocks for GameStop, didn't mean because they were doing it maliciously. It's because they were thinking about all their other stocks in their in throughout the whole website, the whole application.
Because then everyone would be like, why invest into X
No,
stock
no.
when
That,
Y stock?
that's not what I mean. So this new influx of people coming in just to buy GameStop, it's going to affect their servers for everyone else, because all people are wanting to do is the traffic's all going to GameStop, and that could cause an issue when it comes to like you're bottlenecking the service for everyone else who don't want to do GameStop, who want to do anything else on their app. So that was one of the main issues why they suspended it, and people just assumed they're worse, saying like, oh, they're just doing this because they're losing money, yada yada yada, just some weird stuff. But
Right.
I'm glad Dogecoin is going up. I'm glad GameStop is still up. I'm glad that heck even AMC technically is still up, but it's sort of stagnant. But I think more than anything, that if people just put enough, what's the saying? Life imitate art or something like that. Life imitates art, something like that. And the art of the meme is being imitated in real life through the Dogecoin, and it's just beautiful. Honestly, it's super beautiful seeing Dogecoin where it is now. Seeing people are really really enjoying the fact of it, and even Elon Musk has a lot to say about Dogecoin, saying how it's a the cryptocurrency for the people who are like, yeah, screw the system. But at what point does the Dogecoin become a people's currency? And then once it hits like, I don't know, imagine if it's $1,000, is it still a people's currency? And it just becomes a new one of those faceless value coins where it's just like it's no longer a meme. It's something more serious like Ethereum or.
I remember when cryptocurrency was starting to come out. I remember back in the day, people were like, you could pay me in crypto. Like that was a thing that lasted for like.
It's still a thing.
A couple months.
It's still a thing in other countries.
But back then, people would be like, "Hey, you could support me on Patreon, or you could send me money on my PayPal through or with cryptocurrency."
Man, can you imagine how many people got bitcoins and just held on to them, and like now they're just rich?
You know what's awesome about cryptocurrency though? So let's just say I'm living in Europe and I'm running with euros, right? Instead of worrying about the conversion rate between American dollar, the USD, and euros, right? Because let's just say where I'm at, I'm using euros, or even better yet, let's just say I'm in the UK and I'm using the British pound. Instead of dealing with the conversion rate and dealing with that hassle, you can give me exactly what the price I'm selling you this object is, or whatever the service I have, in cryptocurrency. You send it to me, and I can immediately, frame one, exchange it for the money I asked for. Instead, I had to deal with converting your USD into my British pounds, and then cryptocurrency is so nice and makes things and services seamless internationally, and I love that. I really really love that. Imagine you're buying a nice figurine from Japan, and instead of dealing with the yen conversion, or the person doing the yen conversion, USD to yen, you just give them crypto, and they convert it and they cash it out immediately, and there you go. You have your money. He has his yen. You have your figurine of who knows what weeaboo nonsense you paid him to do. So I think crypto's great for that. Small little things like that. I'm not sure if you guys even knew that it even existed.
I just, to me, with crypto, it's more like a thing that I know of, but I don't know everything about. I don't know how it works exactly. I don't know if I'll ever get into it. I'm still more annoyed by the sad effect of, yeah, crypto's cool and all, but computer parts are still expensive and hard to come by. That's why I'm so bitter about it every time
so
the topic ever comes up.
Tech prices right now are just through the roof. I was looking on Walmart's website, and a refurbished Xbox One S is like fucking $600. Like, what is that, dude? Who's gonna buy that?
Refurbished, or is it remanufactured or something?
Refurbished.
Yeah, okay, I'm seeing it now again. Yeah, refurbished.
But if you go if you go offer up or something like that, that's the thing.
But you have to go onto a secondhand market, and like it's not trusted.
Isn't the system technically secondhand too?
Kenny,
technically, but
Kenny, yes. But it's got 3 5-star reviews and 6 1-star reviews. Let me see. I'm gonna read the. All right, let me see. The March greatest console even in 2021. Let's see what this guy says. Her name is Jessica. March 6, 2021. I have had this console for years and it still runs like brand new. I don't do much on my Xbox other than playing Warzone and Rocket League, but it runs them efficiently except for occasional glitch. We also have someone named David. David said on June 3rd, 2020. Everything works just fine. It came with everything. Controller's a little scratched up, but other than that, everything's great. 5 stars. Then we have all these other 1-star reviews where it says, Christina came just in the box, not the original Xbox box, just a regular box and thrown in there. Broken cords were taped and broke. Tiffany says, I ordered it on the 12th of last month, still haven't received it, and she posted this on April 8th, 2021. You will never get products or money back for this, Freddie said. March. So yeah, it's a meme. It's a meme, and everyone's just it's so funny.
And
dude.
Wait a minute. This is through Walmart's website, because they also try to be like eBay and Amazon, where it's like not everything you ship is from them. It's also from a other market. It's also from someone else.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to find, like, the seller, like, people who is actually selling this. Because they have protection plans, which is something only that Walmart can really do, like, their Walmart protection plans. But how...
I mean, like, eBay kind of technically has a buyer protection plan.
Right, but this is for the product itself, that you can just bring it back and you'll get your...
Right.
I wonder about that. That's so weird, dude. Why would they sell an Xbox One S, 500 gigs no less, that has been basically... worked on, and it's now in new condition, quotations.
Well, it's being shipped by Superior Home.
$579.99. You know what? I'm gonna buy it.
That's too much money, man. Like,
wait, Kenny, this is what you're not understanding, and you're an idiot.
Like, what I don't understand, there's people that are on the internet selling a 3070, and they're selling it for $1,000 markup. It's supposed to be like a freaking $500 graphics card, but people are selling it for $1,700. It's like,
Kenny, you're not understanding this. The Xbox you sent us the link of is $579.99, so $580. This is what you don't understand, you ape. There's 2 other sellers. They're selling it at $588 and $699.
Oh, that guy has the best one.
Look, just
$699.
I'm looking at it right now. If that same link that you provided us, just look at other sellers, and oh my god, $699 for an Xbox Series S, 500 gigs.
Well, if I could add my experiences with it, it's sort of like when people want to charge like $50 for Mario 64. Look, it's Mario 64. Is it probably worth $50? Yeah, but is it rare?
Mario.
No, it's not. It's a very common game.
The game itself, physically speaking, it's kind of rare.
Talking about Mario
64?
The N64 cartridge itself.
Really? I could buy because you could find that easily.
Right. So, compared to like the DS or the Nintendo Switch variant of it.
You can't buy that anymore.
Yeah. Have you seen what the prices are on eBay for that? Somebody tried selling for $45,000.
But they're still selling it at the one Best Buy that I have it still has it on shelves.
Oh, bro, don't tell people that. People are going to run over there and buy it.
I was thinking about buying.
People panic bought. I panic bought. I thought
I
it
was
going to
thinking
sell
about
out.
buying
Like,
a second one so that I can just sell it. Yeah, you're right.
I honestly am considering buying the little coins that come separately. The and Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy is like this two-sided coin where it shows the Mario like that's on the cover, the box cover.
Yeah,
just to have it because it looks nice. These coins look nice and they probably feel nice too.
I had the Sword
they're
and Shield
metal.
coin
They're
from
probably
my
metal.
Best Buy pre-order of Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
That shit came dirty though. I had to like wipe it off though. It looked like it was burnt for some
Right?
reason.
Really? You didn't complain about it?
Yeah, I don't. Nah, I just looked. I was like, all right, neat. A tchotchke, put it in the corner.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of like when I got the Age of Calamity game. I was like, man, I just wanted the keychain. I didn't give a fuck about the game. I just wanted the keychain.
Wait, $275 Super Mario 3D All Stars? What the heck? $999? That's a meme. $15,000 with 12 watchers?
They're gonna be like, hey man, look, go sweeten the deal. Look. I got these nuts. I got some nuts. They're gonna be included with your copy. Like, give me 12 grand.
Fat nuts for you.
And these almonds, you mean? He means almonds. He likes the almonds. Chat. He likes salted nuts.
Fun fact
walnuts.
about
It's walnuts.
Fun fact.
Walnuts.
You can cook me something. You can even show me some peanut butter, and it'll smell delicious. But if I taste it,
I'll show you.
I'm
some
not
peanut
allergic.
butter.
I'm not allergic to peanuts. But if I taste it, my body just cringes altogether. My body just rejects peanut butter. And for the longest time, I feel like I missed out a whole bunch of stuff in my childhood because I could not eat peanut butter because it tasted like utter garbage. Garbage, I say.
Do you like bacon?
I think bacon's kind of overrated in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Whoa,
I think it's kind of
I don't
overrated.
think I can be on this podcast anymore.
No, I think more than anything. Look. I think more than anything.
I
think
like
all our
bacon, I just don't
subscribers
think
are
it's-
just gonna unsubscribe to us like right now.
no, they already
because
did
of
when I
the-
said Skyrim is a trash
the-
game.
the words of
Yeah.
heresy.
I already
that come
pissed
out
off all
your
of
mouth.
Reddit, so I mean, I just don't think bacon is like the hottest shit ever. Like when I first tried bacon, it was like, oh my god, dude, this is gonna be really the fucking thing. This is gonna make everything else invalid. I was like, it just tastes okay. It makes my shit
I
crunchy.
think Kenny more than anything because I sort of agree with Daniels that when people say, "Oh, I gotta add bacon to everything, bacon to ice cream, bacon to pancakes,
No.
bacon to
Okay,
this,
like
bacon,
bacon
bacon
on-
on bacon,
listen.
bacon."
No. I just like bacon. Just as a food and the way it tastes, I think it's good. I don't think it should be in everything.
Okay, like if
Then you
came
agree
up to
with
me and
us.
says, hey, which do you prefer, eggs and
I don't think
sausage
it's
or eggs and bacon? I
overrated,
would go with
but-
eggs and sausage.
No, I would go with eggs and bacon.
It depends. It depends on the bacon that's presented to me. If it's chopped up into bits, I'll do it.
I mean, yeah, bacon in certain portions is fine. Like, okay, bacon bits or bacon on fries or cheese fries is fucking great. I'm okay with that. But
exactly.
like slapping bacon on everything,
no,
I
that's
think
kinda-
that believe it or not, you
No,
could just be putting too much.
See, I can do that though.
Yeah,
That's
we
fine.
can
I'm just-
all do that. The problem is, should you?
Do we want
Yeah,
to?
should you do it? What's the Jurassic Park quote? They asked the question if they could, but not if they should. So it's
Right.
like I get why.
Like we could bring back the dinosaurs, but should we?
Hey man,
Yes, to
Dinosaur
study their
zoos.
behaviors, dude.
you're gonna tell me you would not go to see a dinosaur zoo?
Hell
I would.
yeah, dude.
I would call you.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would call you a liar if you
I will
said you
feed the
did it.
T-Rex a chicken. I mean, I will feed him his own ancestor. I'll be like, hey,
No,
you're eating
ancestor.
yourself.
No. You're feeding the chicken to his ancestor
Oh,
because the chicken comes from them. Birds, essentially. Which is why, like, have you seen, like, the recent studies? Like, people think that most reptiles were feathered. Like, there's actual, like, people were thinking, like, the
Yes.
T-Rex might have been
Yes.
feathered because that's one of the reasons why he's got them small little arms.
they're cute little arms. You gotta get them right.
But yeah, so
Um,
I think I think that bacon on everything is just like but it's good. But sometimes like it's gotta be good bacon. It can't be just like
That's
yeah. So
because
yeah, Kenny, I like bacon. What was this bacon thing had to do with peanut butter?
No, we were just talking about
Just
food
talking about
in
food.
general.
Oh, I thought you were gonna make correlation because I said I didn't like peanut butter, and I'm gonna bring out
Well,
like
there's some
well,
people that like bacon, and then there's some people that just like peanut butter, and then there's people that like both or don't like both, and then there's the sad folks that are allergic.
Wait, Kenny, hold up. I just had a crazy moment here. You mean to tell me that people could have various opinions on certain subjects and You don't have to call that other person a motherfucker and hate their guts on the internet. Holy shit!
Shut up! Shut up! This can't be true.
It literally is like
the
that
fact
meme
that we
where it's
haven't
just
cussed each other out yet because you guys don't like bacon all that much.
You monster! You don't like bacon, Daniel? You're dead. You're dead.
No. It's literally like that like comic about like the fucking guy with the great face, and he's just like, I like this product, and the guy says, I don't really like it, and then the other guy has fucking angry eyebrows. Like, why do people get mad? I'll never get that.
Yeah, that's true. I remember seeing that.
Like, it just always bogs my mind. Is that like you think like these are adults at the end of the day? That just makes it even more depressing. It's like,
don't
hey,
you remember about the meme? It's like, consume product, be excited for next product that's coming out, consume that product. It's the consumer, consumer meme, right? Where it's like you're just constantly consuming products after product after product, like Marvel movies and stuff. That's where it really blew up, because you're watching nonstop Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, yada 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 yada. You're just consuming, waiting until the next product comes out. So if you don't like the Marvel movies, everyone's like, how can you not like everything ever?
Listen, my only sexual stimulation is when I stimulate the fucking economy. Because I love me to stimulate that economy.
All right, you heard that, Biden? We need another stimulus check so we can stimulate that economy so that Danny can get his erotic off.
Fourth stimulus check.
Oh, dude, I would never thought I'd be a sugar baby, but after this year, man, I would throw that ass for any old man to throw me a fucking $1,400 check. I am full on sugar baby mode,
My only
man.
concern for that is, obviously, inflation does exist, and this kind of giving money back to the people is sort of different than just printing out new money, because you're basically returning it to the people who basically made the money. My issue isn't so much with the inflation now with us. My issue is, like, let's just say you have a Roth IRA account that has, like, I'm just throwing out a number out here, $1 million, but because the inflation's happening, because we keep printing out money and stuff, now it's worth like $800,000, and you're like, oh well, that sucks. I've wasted all my life making my Roth IRA to be $1 million, but now it's at $800,000. Like, these are the people that I'm already more concerned about the stimulus. But I do agree that having a new stimulus can really help out with people coming out of this issue now, since we're at the tail end of this issue. So I think, more than anything, if you want to be a sugar baby, Daniel, just start selling feet pics on OnlyFans.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm surprised how much men we're talking about here. Not just women, because women obviously make a ton of money on OnlyFans, but men make a ton of money on OnlyFans. Sometimes even more so than women, because the market is a lot more scarce. Supply and demand, Daniel. People want to see your hairy toes.
Yeah, they do.
It's called gorilla toes.
Gorilla toes. Yeah, but his toes are like pasty.
Pasty gorilla toes.
Well,
As I could it's explained by these happy customers, Marcos and Kenny, who have wrote great reviews of my OnlyFans account of my feet pics.
Well,
you guys can't see them, but you guys can hear about them.
it's a very exclusive club. You got to be invited.
Very exclusive.
Kenny and I were invited. We just we forced his shoes and socks off. It was a very troubling moment.
One day. Life is basically like a reality show where it's like a PG rated, so I get those like censor bars whenever I take off my shoes when I go swimming.
God, just one day.
Do you remember water slippers? That was a thing.
Bro, slippers of the water? Absolutely.
Kenny,
hydro.
Why is your brain so smooth that it's basically a hockey puck? Why is it, huh? Why is it?
Bro, it's so smooth that words don't even hurt me.
Mr.
Let me go ahead and slide right off.
No, dude, your floor, dude, your brain is literally the floor in every Call of Duty game. You just slide all over.
You got that
place.
Vaseline brain, dude.
You got that smooth brain going on.
Words don't even hurt me. They just slide.
I can Mario Kart drift in that bad boy.
What emotions? Depression? My brain too smooth for that. I can't comprehend none of that.
Goongu Gaga break machine.
I think the water slippers were a telling of the era.
Stupid.
Of its era.
Hey man, sometimes you just gotta be
watching
swimming at
like these fat people. I mean, I'm not trying to fat shame online,
obese.
but I am okay. All right, morbidly
Obese.
Heterosexual. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Wait, what the fuck?
Liking
Wait,
women?
that's awfully specific.
Go on.
And just seeing them like try to walk on a beach with water slippers on, you're just sitting there like, man, these people, how do you do this? Like, I need the sand between my toes, walking into the water. Then you walk out of the water and you hear.
Oh, that's the worst feeling. Like with Crocs.
Oh man!
Yeah,
Man!
let me bring out the Crocs. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how I could recover like walking in on your significant other getting railed on by someone wearing Crocs. Like I would just
Danny's just over here flexing. That's all.
Yes, I'm flexing. I'm getting cucked by a guy with Crocs.
Speaking about Crocs, you guys know what shingles are,
It's
right?
Yes.
Bro, don't flex on me with those now.
So
Yar har shingles.
right, and spurs, right? You know what the spurs are? You know what the spurs?
Are we talking about the same thing?
Not the offensive term. We're talking about the cowboy boots.
You know what spurs are? All right, I'm posting something. Here's some spurs for your freaking Crocs, you idiots.
Oh man, that's only gonna top more with truck nuts. If you have truck nuts, I mean, like you have a small penis. You just have non-existing cock.
For those in the audience who are sadly listening to this podcast,
you have a smooth pelvis. As smooth as Kenny's brain.
Look, for those those who are listening to this, unfortunately listening to this podcast, I just posted a Etsy link of spurs, but like any kind of spurs. They're for your Crocs, and they're 3D printed fat nuts. That's how you can flex on these kids. The same people who put little pins.
God.
The same people who put little pins.
In the dark.
Look, wait a minute.
yo, dude, what if you're God forbid you're in a situation where like the power of the building just goes shoom. All right, guys, I'm glowing the bulb.
Wait a minute. The same people who decorate their Crocs by putting little buttons on it because they've been to Disney World and all that stuff.
Disneyland, you motherfucker.
You gotta flex on them by putting ball sack spurs on them. And actual plastic spurs on them because you know what? Screw you. So imagine you getting home from the military, from deployment, and you see your wife being railed by someone not only with Crocs, but he's got the Spurs nutsacks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Spurs. Imagine that. Would I blame you for committing that war crime? No. It was justified. You can do that.
You just knew that humanity wasn't ever going to recover. So you wanted to wipe the slate clean.
Look at all these reviews. They're all 5 stars.
What the fuck?
It's a 5-star product with 2,117 sales. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful.
Glowing.
I had to get one for my coworker. You must really hate that fucking coworker. Holy shit. If someone wrote down that like I had to give them to my coworker, well made and a good laugh. I don't know at that point I'd be like, if someone gave to me, I'd be like, dude, at least like spit at me and let me catch it in my mouth. At least I get some satisfaction.
Well, I mean,
what the fuck?
I mean, wait, I'm looking at pictures for reviews and someone has it on a gun, on a fake gun at the end of it. Just scroll down and look at photos from everyone. There's going to be some pink Crocs with some pink nutsacks.
All right, Game Studios. Let me give you some word of advice. All right, if you want us to buy that battle pass, nut charm.
A nut charm.
Give me the nut. Give me the test. Give me the testes.
Bro, like straight up on the rail, like everything.
Imagine getting domed in the head with a wingman in Apex Legends with nuts.
Yo, they actually have spurs for Crocs, so like legit spurs. Like what?
Yeah. So you know how in Overwatch, like it zooms in on the
fucking McCree,
like the player. It zooms in on the player and the weapon they had. Like, play of the game.
Wait, hold up.
Wait. Why is there a Halo AR? In the freaking reviews.
Wait a minute. Wait, it's not that out of the ordinary because Tracer does wear Crocs.
Oh, you're right. You're actually right. Jesus Christ. That's actually funny. Who would have knew Crocs?
Yo, these people make the nutsacks. They also make freaking little ducks for keychains.
Wait. Yeah, they do, but if you keep scrolling down that says more from this shop, you're going to see some penises too.
Yeah, cock on croc. Hey man, that's some genius marketing.
There it is.
Hey, I can't even get mad. I buy the product alone. If you told me that, like, hey, I made a product or it's just a dick on your shoe. All right, I want to know how you
better.
Cock
You
on
better.
croc. I'll buy
Can
12
we please just talk about the fact that, you know, if you literally kick somebody, you're fucking them?
Wait.
I'm gonna fuck you in the ass.
You got to copyright that slogan. Cocks on Crocs.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we are Floridian, so you know Crocs.
Oh my God, they have
I haven't
gold nuts,
seen Crocs in
guys,
forever.
and they're one of them's bigger than the other one.
As it should.
What do you mean? Each one of my nuts is bigger than the other.
Wait, Marcos.
Okay, how does that balance out, Marcos? Do they just grow indefinitely?
Yes.
Have you guys heard about 5D?
Wait, have you guys become to? I mean,
have you guys heard of 5D Chest, the chess game that's been taking Steam by storm?
No.
No. Okay. So 5D Chest is under. So you know how Call of Duty is under like action, shooter, all that stuff, right? Like the tag for the game to explain the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you would assume that chess would have a relatively similar tag to whatever the game is, like strategy, puzzle, maybe even, right? 5D chess in Steam is under the psychological horror tag. Now, what is 5D chess? Let's just say you're playing the Cum Bandit, right? Where you're moving your pawns to certain positions, your bishop to certain positions, and your knights in certain positions. And guess what? One of your pieces gets eaten. Well, it's 5D chess. And it's 5D. You can go back in time, create a parallel universe where that piece, that move never happened, and you predicted it. Well, guess what? Now your opponent saw that you created an alternative timeline, and he can play on that timeline or create his own timeline. It's a chess game where no one knows what the hell is going on. No one wins. No one loses. You could be new to chess. You could be someone playing chess for the first time, and you can beat the grand champion world record, like the world holder of chess, because 5D chess is completely garbage. It is a game that will make you question reality. It will make you question, why would anyone put peanut butter inside chocolate and call it Reese's? It would question your whole existence on why you're on this rock, on this speck of dust, and the whole universe is a playground where people are just playing golf. They're just playing golf, Men in Black style. You know what I mean? All I know is 5D chess is a great game. You should play it. I recommend it if you really, really, really want to look for something to give you purpose in life.
But you just said it was absolute trash.
It's a psychological horror game. Okay? I love it.
I'm waiting for the eventual Dark Souls dating sim.
God.
I love the Bloodborne cart mod where you're racing on horse carriages. I love this so much.
Bloodborne.
You never seen it? Oh my god!
No, I never seen it.
Wait, no! I got you, buddy. I got you, buddy. So basically, you know the carriage that takes you to Canehurst. So they used that as for the racing, and then with that they give they give you different maps where you can do racing. And it's just,
that's like made on Project Dream, right?
Is it Project Dream? I don't remember, but it is.
Because there's one with like the PlayStation 1 remake Mario Bloodborne game that they're working on.
All I know is Bloodborne Kart, dude. Who would have thought that we finally got Mario Kart type-esque game?
Because, you know, when I was playing Bloodborne and getting absolutely my ass blasted by Ludwig, I was like, you know what? This game needs fucking go-karts.
What happened, Kenny?
Oh.
Ooh, Kenny, speaking about the Souls series, someone spent months to produce this, but someone put Dark Souls in Halo. So basically, Blood Gulch became a 10v10 match, but Dark Souls version. Like, you could still have the Warthog, you could still have everything else, but no guns. All you have is whatever Dark Souls 3 has, and it is phenomenal. Imagine playing Capture the Flag, and you have two giant dads fighting against you versus one freaking Havels who is carrying the flag. So he's slow rolling everything. He's just slow AF. So it's I love
Bro,
Dark
can you
Souls,
just
dude.
imagine? Can you just imagine like the Dark Souls bosses doing a fat roll, but they do it on top of you as their attack?
I love it. Don't you love it?
Bro, like, just imagine, like, okay, so I made it to the official first boss after the fat demon from the beginning of Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at the big ass knight with all the little archers around him, which is irritating me like a motherfucker because I have to run through all the enemies very carefully, including the dragon. And I'm sitting there like, man, like I'm gonna kill this guy this time. I feel like I nearly killed him the first time because I killed all the archers and then I started attacking his cankles. And
cankles are so ugly, dude. I hate it. I'm so sad for anyone who has cankles. It makes me cry. So
Wait, you're talking about Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
Demon Souls, I think.
Okay, I thought you said Dark Souls.
No, I was talking about Dark Souls.
Yeah, I know what you're talking.
So Kenny, just get good, you.
well,
sweet
here's
brain.
the thing: I have to get naked in order to get good in the game, so I can instead of fat roll, fast roll.
Wait, you're not.
There's
you're,
no deprived. There's no deprived.
Wait,
okay,
you're playing the game with armor. You're playing the game with.
Yes.
You're playing the game with with armor. That's his.
I chose the knight. So yes,
Yeah, me too. I chose it, and I
You didn't
regret
choose
it.
a crackhead?
I regret it.
You didn't choose crackhead.
There was no crackhead.
You should have picked caveman. Caveman. It would have worked. You get.
Just instead of having conversations in the game.
I love watching like old Fallout playthroughs with just one intelligence.
Honestly,
It's just especially.
honestly, yes, dude. Just yes.
It makes you wonder. Like we voted on this one guy who could barely form sentences to go find a water chip for us. We're fucked.
Bad guy, hurt friend feeling. I destroy his family. Yes.
Can you have like one intelligence but still have like maxed out charisma?
Bro, can you imagine having one intelligence, maxed out charisma, and maxed out luck? Like,
Wait.
I don't know, man. When that guy's saying Google,
You described maxed out luck, maxed out charisma, one intelligence. You just described Naruto right there.
are
we
we
are
talking
just
about
on a roll
Sasuke?
today.
Or are we talking about?
I said Naruto.
Naruto.
Naruto's like, it's gonna be okay. I was like, you know what? I can believe that this guy can become Hokage. Yeah, we're supposed to be ninjas, and he's a fluorescent orange freaking suit wearing dude. He's not camouflaging to
That
anything
can turn
except the
into
sun.
a fucking female, nonetheless.
That could turn into a fox deity, no less. So yeah. That guy. Yeah, I feel like he can do it. I mean, he can do
Give
it.
him
Yeah.
all the power.
Marcos, the way you described made me want Muscle Man to just be in every fucking Naruto arc. What do you mean, Sasuke?
My mom, and then he starts crying because his mom's dead.
Bro, why bring up Batman so soon? I mean, jeez.
Batman. We're talking about Spider-Man here. You
Spider-Man.
Spooderman.
Spider-Man's a cock blocker. Do die, Uncle Ben. Boo, boo, bee, boo. Hey, Mary Jane, can I get some pussy? Boo.
Wait a minute.
God,
Wait.
I miss Pablo Francisco. That guy was
Oh,
hilarious.
I was about to say I didn't see this Spider-Man film.
Pretty much in the Raimi trilogy, he was.
I will say though that for some reason losing your parents gives you really strong power-ups here in anime and in comics. So all I'm saying is if you're an orphan, look up. Even
Unless you're Shinji and you're a pussy and you just get trauma and depression and shit like that. Just like having a neglectful dad and a mom who died. Just saying. He couldn't even pilot his mom's robot. You know what I'm saying?
wait, Shinji got depressed. Ew, wrinkly brain. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here with your wrinkly brain. Get out of here, dude. No one wants that. No one wants that. You think angels in freaking Evangelion had wrinkly brains? Of course not. They just saw moving objects and they're like, hey, that hurts my feelings. That hurts my head. I'm going to destroy it. And they did. And guess what?
Here's my laser.
Angels are happy. Become an angel. No brain. All it is just stop moving.
No brain. No think. Just fall back
Just
to Adam.
do.
Just do. Unless
all right.
Unless
you see the way you guys just said, just do. All right, now imagine that, but 1 intelligence, max charisma, max luck.
All right, but wait, hold on, wait. Where are you gonna put the rest of your special skills then? Because you could do max charisma, max luck, and you only have 1 intelligence. But what are you gonna do the rest of it? Are you gonna go strength? Are you gonna go endurance? Are you gonna go into perception? Because no, perception has to be at 1 as well. Imagine you having 1 intelligence, max charisma, max luck,
max
and you
endurance.
for some reason you have high perception. You're dumb as a rock. You don't understand why your gun works, but you say, hey, but if I put my gun with a suppressor, it makes less noise. You perceive that. You're like, hey, maybe this could work. Is perception and intelligence hand in hand? I think the perks do go hand in hand, actually. I'm thinking too much into this.
So basically
let's
saying
look at
you
the
would...
Fallout perks real quick.
So essentially what you're describing is let's say you're walking to Prim, you see a landmine, you could disarm it, you know what you're doing, but you're too fucking stupid, so you belly flop towards it.
Oh, wait,
It's like well, in your head, you're doing everything. In your mind, but your brain, which is the OS that has your mind in it, right? It just goes.
Was running
It just goes.
Was running Windows.
It just crashes.
Was running Windows Vista that day, so you're fucked.
It just crashes. And you just belly flop into the thing. You're like, ooh, shiny little blinking light, and then you just die.
But your
make a
brain's
muscle man
like,
build.
like sitting there like, I know exactly what this is in, but your actions are just I need light.
It's like it's like that one girl that all she's gonna do is hurt you, but you keep going back to her. And,
Marcos, it's okay. You just need the spoilers. That's a nice cock you got there, by the way.
Why did you say you were with a girl? Are you lying to me now?
What do you mean?
You know that ass is property of ours. You know that, right?
What do you mean? Last time I checked, I lobbed off the what is it? What are those called when you brand a cow? What are those called? I keep thinking carterized. No, that's not the word. What's the word? Dang it!
The thing where you
you brand it.
I like how
you brand them.
I like how upset you're getting.
I hate it. Words. I don't know words.
And you call
I
Kenny,
lost intelligence.
and you call Kenny a smooth brain. You legitimately get frustrated if you don't know a word.
That's how you know.
This is why.
Look, I feel like
this is why
in the
being
next
a smooth brain's so much better.
Look, I feel like in the next Fallout game, it should be more realistic, where you're just walking along and out of nowhere, you're having a bad day. Like out of nowhere, you just feel like tired. So your endurance and strength out of nowhere -1, and it happens, So maybe one day you're just walking along and you can't remember one word, so you get -1 in intelligence, and you're like, damn it, I can't do anything.
What? Fuck it, depression perk.
Depression perk.
you are more tolerable than the physical damages, but your perception goes down.
Way down, and also your charisma.
Your charisma, so you just can't hold a conversation.
Yeah, I think. I think the response like that.
I do hope that they make another single-player Fallout game. As much as 76 bombed and shit, I know that Bethesda wants to work on Starfield, or whatever the fuck that's
honestly,
gonna
76, be. Just playing it by yourself as a like obviously you need internet connection, but just as a single-player game, it's actually okay of a game. It's actually like whatever, and then someone helping you out with a quest that can come along doing the exact same quest is actually not that bad. But at the end of the day, it's mainly multiplayer. So, Yeah, I played it a lot, and I had my fun with it.
I still haven't really touched it myself. I don't know. So the concept itself just completely doesn't interest me at all. So I was like, okay, cool. No, I'm not gonna.
Well, here are my closing thoughts on that. Just much like with ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. Obviously, you need to have a friend with you playing with it. It makes the game a whole lot more fun, especially if you have a friend who's a little bit more ahead in the game with you, and they can basically remove all the unnecessary parts, and you can get into speed with it, and it makes the game, that part makes it enjoyable, because you don't have to worry about tutorials, worry about this and that, because someone's actually holding your hand through it, and because their hand will tell through it, and they're just passing on the torch, saying that, hey, this is how you do everything, and it makes the game a little bit more enjoyable, honestly. So that's really it. And even with 76, when the game first came out, toxic, it was a lot more toxic, but now like people legit will drop random items in front of you because they're like, hey, like, you're low level, why not? Here, just take it. And this is taking up inventory space. Just take it. I don't care. So it's quite nice.
I want to thank the Lalafell in Final Fantasy XIV that I met in Gridania, who I just said, hey, what's up? And he comes up to me and says, here's a million gil. thank you, and he walked away.
It happens. Someone gave me, what was it in Fallout? You have blueprints so you can build stuff. Someone gave me like 80 something new blueprints I didn't have, and it was great. I was like, all right, cool, nice. And then I never saw him again because he disconnected from the server.
Oh, rip.
I mean, it is what it is.
He probably just logged out.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I think we should just go ahead and wrap right now, even though we went through that little bit of a psychotic bit between three crazy people.
Oh man, jeez. Yeah.
That we.
Sorry, audience.
But that was fun.
I hope you guys had a good laugh with us on that questionable journey of Cox for Crocs.
Yeah, I mean, like
that glow in the dark.
It's the ticket you paid for when you sign up for us. You know, it's just like we could talk about news, gaming, Kenny Smoothbrain, Marco's hatred for butter, and I mean for peanut butter.
Hey man, that's my gamer tag, man.
You know, fucking
listen. This is why I hate peanut butter. I put the peanut in the butter, and for some reason, it's not peanut butter. It tastes like absolute garbage. All right, that's why I'm mad. Okay, that's why I am mad, and I'm going through therapy. Okay,
Marcos, you need to put your peanuts in butter.
In my butter, you know what I'm saying? Just completely fucking dunk on this bitch.
I'm waiting for a.
You need to put your Raisin Bran.
I'm
in my Reese's.
Here we
cups.
go again.
Look, I understand that you want me to put my hot dog into your buns, but I need you to understand one thing. I'm waiting for two words here that follow a statement like that when it comes between two men.
I got
consent.
one word with two syllables. Does that count?
I don't even.
Let's see what you got.
Smegma. All right, everybody. Thank you.
I was waiting for
DKM.
I was waiting for the full homo, but all right, sure. Go ahead and say with smegma.
As Kenny was saying, I think we should definitely wrap. All right, guys. So if we could like take let's take a nap real quick, and if we could finish this as normal people would end any conversation between colleagues. Anything else you guys want to say before we go?
Remember,
full homo.
Wait, hold up. Marcos first. Marcos first.
Just remember, you have to ask yourself sometimes, what won't you do for a Klondike bar? And well,
honestly though, nothing. Those are fucking awful.
Well, I was given an Oreo one, and I'm ashamed for what I did. But was it worth it? Definitely.
Well, if it was worth it, it was worth
it.
Kenny, what do you have to say?
Marcos, in rebuttal to your saying full homo. Full homo.
Thank you. That takes off the weight off my conscience. Thank you very much.
And he's at peace. Well, that's good. Thank you so much for listening and watching this crazy episode of the DKM podcast. We really appreciate your patronage, and we really appreciate you guys continuing watching, listening, and supporting us. As you know, you could always watch us on YouTube, listen to us on any streaming services, including Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcast. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DKM Podcast, because we definitely want to get that Twitter handle going with more followers. So really appreciate that. I think we could go ahead and wrap, guys. Thank you so much for watching / listening to DKM Podcast. You have a wonderful day and take care. See ya.